YCN, cable television for New Hampshire.
From Bellows Bowling in Concord, New Hampshire, welcome to Yankee Championship Bowling. Championship Bowling is brought to you by Shaw's, your everyday lower price leader, and by the Crapponi Transportation Center, located at the junctions of I-89 and I-93 in Concord, New Hampshire. Hello, everyone, and welcome to week number 1 of Yankee Championship Bowling. I'm Don LeBrun, along with Jim Rivers. And Jim, we've got Steve Vadney, who's a defending champion, and he meets a guy that we have never met before, and Ralph Osgood from Scutney, Vermont.
Well, we've never met Ralph before, but Steve and Ralph are good friends. In fact, they bowl on the same bowling team on Monday nights at the Sunapee Street Lanes in Newport. Ralph hails from Scutney, Vermont. Let's take a look at Steve Vadney first. He's the defending champion from Claremont, and married with a little boy and a little girl who always are part of his rooting team that come along with him. High single of 197, a high triple of 452, and an average of 127. His opponent tonight, the number 16 seed, Ralph Osgood, who actually finished in a tie for 15th with Jim Woodsum. They flipped a coin, and as a result, the two good friends and the two teammates at Sunapee Street will be going head-to-head. Ralph is a self-employed welder. He has been married for 25 years, a grandfather, and an average of 113. So two guys that see a lot of each other will be going head-to-head tonight, Don.
Okay, we're just about set for our first string of bowling action, and we're going to do that right after these words.
Ralph Osgood, the number 16 seed. Kind of ironic, he's got Dick Moody's barbershop on the back of his shirt. I don't think he's been there for a while. But 113 average for Ralph Osgood. Both Ralph and Steve drove down together this morning as we tape this on Sunday morning. And he starts it off with an 8. Got the head pin just to the right side. Good first ball for Ralph Osgood. Got some new faces in our draw of 16 this time around. We've got some old favorites back. Danny Murphy did not qualify. Actually, Danny Murphy did not attempt to qualify. He had an illness and was not able to get out and qualify, so we will not see Dan Murphy this time around. Good out for Ralph Osgood. Picks up the 10 for 18. Steve Vadney, our defending champion. Actually, it's Vadney, but we've been saying Vadney for so many weeks. He's on a roll now as defending champ. I want us to change. Good start for the defending champ. Picks up the mark early. Good fill. See if he can back it up. Boy, that pin looks so easy just standing right out there.
Doesn't to me.
29-18. We're through the first two boxes here on the Yankee Championship Bowling. Got a good chunk of the head pin. And he picks him up. First mark of the evening for Ralph Osgood. Also in our group of 16, a gentleman that you may have read about recently, Jerry Montmany out of Manchester, the number 5 seed, will be coming up on week number 5. He just broke the world's record down in Manchester when he fired a 240. That's his high single. It's my high triple, but so he will be on our show. It'll be exciting to have him.
2 marks in a row for Osgood.
Good first ball for Vadney. Imagine that at 240. My goodness.
And 6 strikes in a row towards the end of the string.
Really?
Lost 6 balls or strikes.
I'll put down another mark for Vadney. 2 out of the first 3. That one seemed to tail a little bit off to the Brooklyn side. Again, both balls seem to tail a little bit to that left side. He manages to steal the 10. 54 for Vadney. We're through 4 here for Steve. Osgood on his second spare fill of the night. He filled his other one with a 6. These two guys bowl on the same team every Monday night at the Sunapee Street Lanes in Newport. He'll settle for an 8. Tim Lipke is also back with us in this series. Tim had some pretty good success recently down in Massachusetts on some bowling shows.
Media hype of any bowler, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. The IRS will probably be happy to hear from him this year. And for you folks in the Concord area, we have some Concord bowlers back on the show again. Danny Broder of Concord and Don Weatherby of Concord both made the final 16. Here's the head pin, pretty flush. Nine for a total of 63 for Vadney now. Working on the 4 horsemen to the right side. First runner-up in the Steve Martin look-alike contest, Steve Vadney. Here's his third 10. He was only left 1 pin standing. He had a 9 box. He's had 2 spares and 3 10s in the others, and leads Ralph Osgood by 5 pins through 6. Each have had 2 marks. Played the wood perfect. Boy, was that a pretty shot. Big mark for Osgood. Chance to take the lead here. Not a great fill. Same spot. 88 through 8 frames, as you can see there on our Yankee Championship scoreboard. And coming up in just a few minutes, we'll have our Lucky Roll segment, the first one of the new series.
How does that work, Jim?
Don, you're here. Nicely done. Mark number 3. They're all even in marks now. You folks at home a chance to win some cash. Nine fill for Vadney. Seven pin goes. Ralph, one of these bowlers that likes to hold his second ball on the other hand for leverage or for whatever. Next week, Bill Chaudier and Jim Woodsum will be our two bowlers. Osgood comes right back with his 4th mark, the first string. So each have 4. He has had fills of 6, 6, 4, and 4 tonight. On the other hand, Vadney is filled with a pair of 9s and a 5. He's going to finish just under his average of 113. I'll have to send someone out for that pin. See, it is still moving, as you can see there on the inset. We're going to move right back into playable territory down there. He's going to drop right off.
It's one of the exciting aspects of bowling.
Gutter ball makes everyone at home feel human. And he finishes with a 7 and a 109. 4 pins under the average for Ralph Osgood, who crossed the Connecticut River this morning to come down and be a part of the series. Through 9 for Steve Vadney. Bowling in the 10th frame.
Nice.
Kicked over, got the 7 pin. You had to wonder if that was going to go. And what looked like was going to be a fairly close first string is starting to open up a little bit here in the final couple boxes. Vadney with a 125 with a ball will have at least a 16-pin lead, except 5. 130 to 109, a 21-pin lead, just like that. And back halfway through, it looked pretty nip and tuck, but 21-pin lead really isn't a whole lot.
Well, it's only a difference of 1 mark. So
really?
That's not too far off. To explain our Lucky Roll segment, if you're just joining us, what we'd like you to do is drop us a card with your name, address, and phone number to YCN. 8 Commercial Street? 8 Commercial Street.
8 Commercial Street.
Hard to see it. 8 Commercial Street in Concord, zip code 03301. Put your name, address, and phone number on that card, and it will go into our bin. And if the bowler picks your card, you're going to win a minimum of $5 in Shaw's food certificates. And if the bowler matches up the pinfall of 1 throw with the number that he spins on our wheel, then you win the jackpot. So that's how easy it is. And our Lucky Roll segment will be coming up right after these words.
Welcome back to Yankee Championship Bowling. We have Steve Vadney leading his good pal Ralph Osgood 130 to 109 after the first ring. Got to keep in mind with these lucky roll segments, each segment is fresh. In the old days we had reruns, and we do it right here every program. So send those cards in 8 Commercial Street. Right now down on the floor with Ralph Osgood, here's Don LeBrun.
Never caught how much the jackpot is. Do you have anyone know? We'll get it pretty soon, Ralph. Don't spin this around so the folks at home know. We got a lot of cards in there, so reach right in deep and pick out a lucky winner for us. $53. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Ralph, and you can go ahead and roll on lane 21. And it says, I enjoy the bowling very much. Keep them rolling. And it is Mildred Carlson of 1 Wambeck Road in Concord. So, Mildred, $53, they say? $53. That's buy a few groceries at Shaw's. A lot of cards in the bin. Gee, the most I've seen in a long time. A lot of you folks sending in your cards, proving why this is the most popular show on the YCN. 6 is the number. So, Mildred, you're going to enjoy at least $6 in Shaw's money. And hopefully Ralph can match up to 6. Ralph, give it a good spin, and we'll see if we can match up to 6. Nope, it's going to stop on the 7th. So we're going to add $7 to our $53 total, so it's now $60. And next time around, when Jim does the Lucky Roll segment, and Mildred, we're going to send $6 your way in Shaw's food certificate money. Reminder to you folks to join us in our Lucky Roll segment by dropping us a card, just like Mildred did. Pretty flowers that catches the bowler's eye. And make sure your name, address, and phone number are on it, please. Our second string of bowling action should be up right after these words. Welcome to the Martian Chronicles. We're all set. String number 2. I feel like Walter Winchell with this new setup.
Vadney opens with a 10. Hit a couple of those last time. I don't know who drove down this morning, Ralph or Steve, but whoever drove better win or someone's walking. There's a pair. Actually, both of these gentlemen, as soon as they leave this show tonight, are headed right over for Hillsborough and another tournament. I wonder if either one of them work for a living. It's been a good year. Steve had a good year in 1984. In all seriousness.
Are you telling the IRS that?
No. Steve is an honest, upstanding citizen. I'm sure they know about it all. Ralph wants to climb back in closer here. Starts off with the mark.
That's what I like about doing this show. It's a tax write-off. It's a charitable donation.
Yes, right, it is.
Two in a row.
First mark in this string for Vadney. It certainly would not be the first time if the #1 seed were to get knocked off early. We've had that happen a couple of times in the past 2 years. So, on a dead wood. Interesting spare leave. Let's see where he goes with it. 48 through 4 for Steve Vadney. 21-pin lead coming into this string.
Well, I think that Ralph's going to catch up here.
He has started off well. He is now down by 3 pins after 2. That's a big one. That is 3 marks in a row.
Possibility of 4.
Still trailing by 3 through 3 frames. Nope, not going to pick up that 4th one. Pin lead for Osgood here, so he trails by 4 overall as Vadney steps in for his 5th frame. The Grapponi Transportation Center, lane number 21. Certainly, if you're looking for a new vehicle in 1985, it's worth the trip from wherever you are watching this in New Hampshire. But Grapponi is located right at the crossroads of I-89 and I-93 here in the capital city.
Plus, there's a Grapponi dealership right across from Boutwell's, so if you know what Boutwell's is and interested in AMC or Pontiac or a Jeep, nice people.
Sports-minded, to be sure. A lot they have done for the community in the state capital, especially. Grid out, another 10 for Vadney. He has 2 marks and 4 10s in this string.
Yeah, the nice thing about Grapponi is that you can go down, and if you need service on the car, no matter where you're from, you'll service on the car, you can go down, they'll want to do a shopping or something while your car's being worked on. They'll take you to wherever you'd like to go and pick you up. Take good care of the customers.
Take you down to Shaw's if you'd like to go to Shaw's. Drop you off.
Helps load your groceries in your car.
Will Bob Grapponi do that for you?
Yes, you will.
To tell my wife that.
Of course, your wife's a very famous person. I've seen her on TV.
Have you? I've never seen her on the TV, but...
Next to it.
Next to it, under it, behind it. The meat lady. Well, Vadney's still hanging on to an 8-pin lead overall here. 85-72 in this string.
Trust your holiday season was a pleasant one, Jim?
Outstanding. Anytime you got little kids around the house, it's a fun time of the year.
I had to mortgage my house. Presents for the kids. Thank God Santa bailed me out.
I tell you, buy a week's worth of groceries of what it cost for one little toy 5 years ago. Television does a good job of getting your kids psyched up for one special toy. See it once and that's it. Because I asked for a GoBot myself.
That's because you got a Cabbage Patch doll for your birthday.
I know, I did. I'd already had one.
There's a nice strike. Hey, a replay machine
We're
works, huh?
Bring this back and watch it.
Here we go. I think. Here it comes. Oh, yeah.
There it is.
And back live.
Back live for a 4-drop. He's got one more on the strike.
Phil's 1-8.
And with that, he takes the lead by a point overall. To 91, and now we're tied overall. Going to make for a pretty interesting third string here.
Should. Spare.
Watch it again. Vadney on the mark. His third of the string is back live. Splits him up.
He's got a 6, Phil, as you can see now.
Boy, this is interesting spare lead. Goes to the left side. Can't kick it across for the other two, but going to leave him with a good possibility of a 10. 116 for Vadney to go with his 130 and a 246 through 2. Every time I see Ralph stuff up there, I want to call him Dick. Dick Moody's barbershop across his back.
Well, that's a neon light sign, that's why.
Everybody gathers at Dick Moody's, wherever that may be, probably somewhere up around Ascutney.
Sounds like it should be a tavern. Moody's.
.118 to 107 in this string. So Vadney has come back to take the lead.
Like to mark here.
For a 125. Picked up 9 pins, so he'll go in trailing by 12. So Osgood did what he wanted to. He chopped that lead considerably. So really, it's anybody's match right now.
It certainly is. Not much of a difference, really, and should be a good third string. The address should be coming up on your screen right now for our Lucky Roll segment, and there it is. And by all means, take advantage of Lucky Roll and drop us a card with your name, address, and phone number, please, so that we can have you participate and perhaps win some Shaw's money. And while we have a chance before I break, I'd like to offer our congratulations and best wishes to a member of our advertising family, Bob Arnold, who is with Weeks Family Restaurant and Red Blazer Restaurants in the capital city area, who was recently married. And very best of luck to Bobby and his new wife, and beautiful wife of 2 months, Heidi. And I wonder how Bobby got a good-looking girl like that, but who knows. We're going to be back and have our Lucky Roll segment right after this. Okay, we are back, and we've got a 246 and 234 score for Steve Vadney in the lead. Once again, congratulations to Mildred Carlson of 1 Wambeck Road in Concord. She was a $6 winner on our Lucky Roll segment the first time around, and we've got $60 now in our jackpot, and hopefully someone will come up with a winner in that one, and let's find out by turning things down to Jim Rivers.
Okay, thank you, Don. The last time you were standing down here, you were having a nice conversation with my partner, Don, and collecting a winning check, winning the championship. Let's see if we can collect a winning postcard here, Steve. All right, if you want to step on over to lane number 21, Somersworth. It looks like Barbara Pantelides, I believe, Panteledes, of 7 William Street in Somersworth, New Hampshire. That's the first card we've had from Somersworth. $60 is the jackpot. Steve Vadney on lane 21. Let's see what he's got. 6. So you are guaranteed of at least $6, Barbara, over in Somersworth, home of the Hilltoppers. We've had some Somersworth bowlers on our show. Give it a good spin. Needing a 6 for 60 for Barbara Pantelides. I hope I've got that right, Barbara. Coming around, and it's going to stop on an 8, so we'll have $68 in our jackpot next time around. And for you, Barbara, thanks for the card. Keep on sending them. We'll have a check for $6, good for Shaw's Supermarket Groceries. And we'll have our deciding string between the two friends from the Newport area right after this.
Okay, we are all set. And while I was gone, Jim, I congratulated your good friend Bobby Arnold from Weeks Family Restaurant on being married.
That's right. He recently took the big plunge. About 27 years behind you.
I still remember getting up as a child, listening to you on the radio, telling me whether I had school or not.
Yeah. I remember when you used to wear glasses.
So did you.
Playing basketball. Used to watch it all on black and white TV back when Channel 12 in Concord used to do games locally, and I used to watch cartoons and then switch over to you. Osgood starts with a 9. He's got to make up 12 pins, which those of you who bowl frequently, as most of you who watch this program do, know how easy that is to make up. Because the Yankee Championship Bowling is the #1 rated show on the network, and the man who produces the #2 show on the network is here taking some pointers tonight, John Graffair.
Oh, which program's that, Chuck?
It's the exercise program that they have. Washington Reports, State of the State. Vadney looking to open up some breathing room real quick here. Starting off with a big mark. Good follow-up. Spare and a strike. And bingo, he's up by 23 right in the first box. I think Ralph might be the first bowler we've had on from the Green Mountain State, Don. I don't recall any others. We've had some from Maine, Massachusetts.
The young man who was the bowler of the year did not qualify this time around. He was on the program last time?
Nope, I don't believe he did, but because that's not to say, being at the holiday time of the season, perhaps some of the bowlers didn't get a chance to qualify with other commitments, so someone is not in the final 16 doesn't always mean they didn't qualify. in Dan Murphy's case, when he had an illness and could not show up the night that they had the qualifying. Just what the doctor ordered for Ralph Osgood. He had to start making a move. Bill Chartier and Jim Woodsum next week right here on the Yankee Cable Network. Week number 2. Still haven't decided what we're doing in the summer series, Don.
You haven't?
We haven't decided what we're going to do in terms of who the bowlers are going to be. You remember.
Well, since you only did a couple of shows in the last series, I didn't know if you remember.
Well, I was, you know, sunning myself in the Caribbean. I mean, what did you do with the royalties from the show?
I built a doghouse.
Yeah, your wife said you hadn't been staying in the house recently. 55 for Vadney through 4. Ralph Osgood really needs a good fill here. He really needs us to back it up with another mark. Settles for a 7 for a 49, and he goes over to the Shaw's Supermarket lane. Am I right or am I wrong, Don? Right.
No, I think you're wrong, Jim.
I think I'm right.
Well,
put it this way, we're both wrong. And lady in the
you're right. You're right.
Thank you.
I give him credit for 6 on the fill, and it was really a 4.
Winner in our lucky roll, Barbara Pantelides from Somersworth, and of course Pat Pay out of Somersworth will be with us coming up on week number 7, I believe.
We have a lot of nice faithful viewers in the Somersworth area. The Poitras family for one, and a few others. And
yeah, and Jim Nolan, who used to live in Concord, is a faithful viewer.
He lives in Somersworth.
Lives in Somersworth now. Faithful viewer. Yankee Championship Bowling. The Mullaney family in Concord. $63.49 through 5. 26-pin lead for Vadney.
Saw a good friend of yours the other day said to give his best wishes. Chuck Morgan, WJYY.
Chuck used to work at in Concord at WKXL years ago. Back when they used chipmunks to run the transmitter. Chuck is a nice guy, a professional.
And doing very well at WJYY.
Mm-hmm. Somebody has to. That's what you call a mess right there. See if we can pick up the 10-pin. Kicks over, and it's not going to go. Vadney has had 4 open frames in a row, and Osgood now has 3 in a row. So certainly Steve has left the door open for Ralph to make a comeback here.
Interesting spare leave there.
You get a chance to talk with Steve Vadney again. Last time you talked to him, you were giving him the big check.
And I didn't get a Christmas present either.
Well,
I thought I would.
Steve's wife was down there onto that check so fast, like ugly to a gorilla. Another open, and he still leads by 25 pins overall. It's 5 opens in a row for Vadney. There he goes. Cleared those out in a hurry.
That might ice it.
They bowled on the same team together. They have bowled in house tournaments against each other. I would say the Sunapee Street lanes have been as well represented in our final 16 and final 12, and we have them as any other house in the state, with Rich Farwell and Steve Vadney, Ralph Osgood, a couple of others.
I don't think Sandy's has been too shabby.
Nope, not at all.
Botwell's here in Concord.
And Botwell's, right. Time to turn out the lights, I think, for Ralph Osgood. He'll finish with a 101 for a 335. Vadney needs is somewhere around a 90 to beat him.
Which he has.
So the defending champ will move along and will return in our second round, which means he'll be on week number 9. It'll be the first match in the second round. Picking up the pace a little bit, just going through the motions. He has the match in hand.
.364, Jim?
118 for Vadney, 364 to 335, and the defending champ moves along.
He certainly does, and we're going to discuss with the defending champion and Ralph Osgood about today's bowling match, and we'll do that right after these words.
Now, before we go down to Don LeBrun and our two bowlers, we had a couple of folks who won some Shaw's cash here in our Lucky Roll segment tonight. Barbara Pantelides of William Street in Somersworth, and also Mildred Carlson of Concord. A couple of winners. And if you'd like to send a card, very simply address it to the Yankee Cable Network, 8 Commercial Street in Concord. We'll put it in the bin, and if our bowler draws your name out and then matches the wheel with his pinfall, you will win the jackpot, which is going to be up well over $60 when we do it next week. Speaking of next week, we have Bill Chartier out of Milford, who was on our last series, and Jim Woodsum, newcomer that we'll be telling you about. That'll be our match for next week. Steve Vadney, defending champ, has won his first match, and with Steve and Ralph Osgood, let's get down to Don the Front. Don?
Thank you, Jim Rivers. Ralph, the interesting point is